Hey friends, welcome back to Steiger Family Farms. I have not too much here for you guys this week. This is just a couple of short clips of me cleaning up and finishing up some canning that I did the other week, some diced tomatoes. And I'm just cleaning off the jars, and I thought I would talk to you while we watch some B-roll of that. I wanted to talk a little bit about just being content with what you have and not feeling the need to hustle to get more or to do more. You all have to start somewhere, and it's so hard sometimes to look at people who are 5 years into their journey, 10 years into their journey, whether that's homesteading or parenting or just life in general. We all have to start somewhere, and where you start isn't going to be where you end. I canned these diced tomatoes. Now I may only have maybe 15 cans of diced tomatoes. That's not gonna last us a whole year, but that wasn't the goal. The goal is to preserve the food that we grow and eat the food that we grow. To feed my family nourishing food. Gardening for me started out of just I might as well. So if something horrible were to happen, we'd at least have green beans in the freezer, right? Green beans are super easy to grow, and that's pretty much what I did the first year. And then I started to just add to my skill set year after year, and it wasn't this all of a sudden all in, gonna build raised beds, gonna build this, gonna spend all this money on inputs. It's starting small. Learning one thing and then learning another, and not trying to master everything in the first year. You have to start small, and you have to take your time. So whether it's a couple of herbs that you're learning how to grow when you have a small space, or whether you grow one tomato plant and you're like, I don't even like fresh tomatoes, or how would you ever get enough to can from this if you just have one tomato plant? But it all comes slowly over time. You have to figure out how to grow the food, and then you have to figure out how you like to preserve it, which is largely dependent on how you like to eat it. For me, I really don't like fresh tomatoes. They're kind of good on sandwiches. I've grown as I've become an adult, but I remember as a kid I was like, yeah, no, I don't want tomatoes. So to grow a whole bunch of tomatoes made no sense in my mind until I started making my own tomato products. Now we love tomato sauce and salsa and making homemade ketchup and barbecue sauce. All those things are wonderful and homemade, and I'm able to do that for my family now. But I still don't really want to go out there and eat a tomato right off the vine. It's just not my cup of tea. But that doesn't mean that I haven't learned how to grow tomatoes. So start with what you like, think about that, and begin planning for next year of what is one thing I want to try. Try to grow, or try to learn how to preserve in a different way maybe. And pretty soon you'll end up with a canning bench that looks like this. We just have a simple wooden table down in the basement that I put all my filled jars back in boxes and lay them out on the table, and it fills up over the summer and largely in the fall when our harvest really starts to come in and when I do a bunch of our preserving. And it blesses our family through the whole entire year.